All right, so about a year ago, Samsung released the Galaxy A56 as a mid-range contender with a pretty big screen, smooth display, solid battery life, and pretty decent performance. And now that it's been nearly a year later, we're going to be getting the Galaxy A57. This phone has essentially settled into the real world, and I kind of want to answer some questions. Does the A56 still hold up, or has time and the new competition that has come out since then and coming out left it behind? So with the design of the Galaxy A56, it's clean, it's practical, and it's still really solid. This has aged pretty well, if you ask me. It's not flashy or anything, but it definitely feels well built with a pretty decent, slim profile, decent weight, and a good construction build to it. Despite being a mid-range phone, it still offers IP67 water and dust resistance, which, it's unusually good in this price class. I like it. And then when this phone released, it was running One UI 7 on top of Android 15, but now it currently has One UI 8 on top of Android 16, which is awesome. And it feels really cohesive and modern. I really do love the redesign that we got with One UI 7 and the smaller, upgrades with One UI 8. Clean menus, easy navigation, and smooth performance. It's really great. And then this display is actually pretty good. It's wide, but it's also bright and smooth. It's got the 6.7-inch display, Super AMOLED, Full HD, and then a 120 Hz refresh rate. And I like that. I like that this device has a high refresh rate. And even 2026, this panel still holds up really great. Crisp text, punchy colors, and smooth motion. Also, brightness is pretty good. I did bring the brightness down because I am indoors, but for outdoor use, it's great. And HDR10+ support helps, watching content feel very vibrant on this. If you're using it for social media, for watching videos, even like casual gaming, nothing too crazy, this screen delivers a premium feel in a mid-range phone. Like overall design and the build display is a plus for this. Yeah, we're gonna get, a little bit of a thicker bezel compared to the S series, but that makes sense. That's the flagship series. This is the mid-range. It only does make sense. Now, when we get to the performance, it's good. Obviously, when you've used a device that has a Snapdragon and then you switch from Snapdragon, especially like a high-end, to a Exynos like 1480, 1580, you definitely see the difference. This has the 1580, and honestly, it actually caught me off guard because I've used A50 devices in the past and they have performed very bad. But here, it's been really great. It still keeps things smooth even a year later. Again, 8 gigs of RAM, which is perfectly fine. And obviously the chipset right now, as we've entered 2026, it's not the highest and mid-range like Exynos chipset, but it still gets the job done. Everyday tasks are still smooth. Browsing and scrolling still feel pretty responsive. Apps open quickly. There are some, stutters here and there. Like it takes like a tad bit longer, like a second or two, just to open up an app when compared to its higher end models. That is to be expected. So if you are a heavy user like myself, then just be a little bit cautious because at times you're going to be like, oh, I got to wait a couple extra seconds. But if you're fine with that, if you're not using your phone crazy like myself, then I think you'll be okay. Definitely think you'll be okay because overall performance, I think, will be reliable for many people and usable for a lot. And I used to work at Best Buy back, 2019, 2020, when the A50 series was like just coming out. And we used to sell a lot of those. In fact, we used to sell more of those than iPhones. Surprising to say, but those perform really well for the average consumer, for many people. So it only makes sense. But yeah, performance has been pretty good. Now, how about the software? Well, the software, obviously, we're getting 6 years of software updates, which is great. I like it. For a mid-range, 6 years, you can't complain. You really can't go wrong. That's great. And One UI, it's either you really like it or you really don't. And I really like it. One, because it just feels more modern, but two, I've watched Samsung grow in the software department coming from devices that had TouchWiz. It was pretty bad, but now they've went complete, like all in the software department. So kudos to Samsung, good job. keep it up. The cameras are good. You know, they're good for everyday moments. It's got a triple camera setup. The 50 megapixel main sensor is great. The 12 megapixel ultra wide, it's decent. And then we get a 5 megapixel macro camera. Yeah. So I kind of consider this phone with a dual camera setup, not a triple, because like who uses a macro? But daylight results, they're good. They're decent detail and color for everyday photos. And if you're looking for anything more, I mean, you're going to get some video capture too, tops out of 4K at 30 frames per second, which is good for this class. It's a good everyday camera. It's not flagship level performance. Like if you're looking for flagship level, obviously you're not going to go for this. If this is your device and like you start making content, then yeah, it's fine. But if you obviously want to go a little bit more pro and just, you know, have higher quality content, at some point you're going to have to put this aside and upgrade. So it's good for like sharing photos with friends and family, keeping them as a memory. But anything, if you want to go a little bit more pro, or just if you have a little bit of importance and value in the camera department, this camera setup is not going to be for you. The battery is great. It's still very dependable. And the charging, it's pretty decent. 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which, you know, when we look at phones nowadays in 2026, we're getting 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 milliamp hours in a phone. And they're keeping the same thickness, which is crazy. But this, you know, it's good. It delivers all day battery life under typical use. I've gotten essentially the entire day. I can go through starting in the morning like 6:30, 7 a.m. end the day with around 40 to 45% of battery life, about 6.5, 7 hours of screen on time. Now, charging support does go up to 45 watts, which actually is better than its older brother, yet, you know, smaller brother at the same time. Samsung Galaxy S25 and the upcoming S26, which is rumored to also be capped at 25 watts. So yeah, this has faster charging, which is great. But it's while it's 45, it's not the fastest. It's still good. Like it gets the job done. I don't have any complaints there. But overall, just to kind of wrap things up, should you buy the Galaxy A56? Like, does it still hold up? Yes. The answer is yes, it still holds up. Should you pick it up? That is where you should probably think about, okay, well, the A57 is going to come out soon in the next couple of months. So if you still are in the mid-range market, then I'd say wait, because like this is a very solid mid-range phone. It's balanced, it's dependable, it's capable for everyday use, but it's not, you know, it's not the most powerful A50 device anymore because we're getting its successor, but it's still got a great display, great battery life, and long software support. So if you do want to wait for the A57, that's fine. But if right now you need a phone and you want a well-rounded phone without paying flagship prices, then yeah, the A56 is going to be a pretty good choice for you. Again, there's no phone that's perfect. This is by far means like it's not perfect at all, but it still does the things that most people actually care about very well, especially for its mid-range price, like $400 or $500. Like, really can't go wrong with this A56. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to super the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack. It is called Lava Flow. Links will be in the description down below. That's been it for me, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.